Hi, I'm Lisa Tomlinson. So I'm now a CEO of my own business.
Tell me, what were the challenges and obstacles you were up against that brought you to me originally?
So when we first started working together, I seemed to be working a lot, and the profits that I was making weren't really at the level that I felt they should have been for how much work I was putting in, and I was struggling with some other areas in the business. Feeling isolated, feeling a bit lost with the focus of the business, and not feeling as kind of focused as I should have been on where the business was going. I felt like I was working all the hours that God sent. So I was working lots of long days, lots of weekends. That wasn't in itself the problem. The problem was that from that, I wasn't getting the amount of money that I needed to make it worth it. I wasn't even making, the salary that I'd been on in the job I'd given up to start the business. And the work that I was doing, although I was enjoying some of it I wasn't enjoying. It was having a bit of an impact on how I was feeling about the business and whether I wanted to kind of continue.
And what changed as a result of our work together?
I think there was definitely a few things that we worked through that really had a big impact on how I was working with the business. So money mindset. I feel like this is a challenge that everybody that starts a business probably goes through. Some of the work that we did around that was really powerful for me. One of the other things that we worked on that had a massive impact for me was about pricing. I lacked the confidence to price at the level that I needed to be pricing at. You made me see that pricing at a much higher level not only meant that I could do less work and earn more money, but it meant that the people that were paying that really valued what I was doing, and actually it was worth them valuing. Through the work that we did together, I got rid of that low paying work and managed to replace it with much higher value work, and at that point I picked up some really good projects, some really big projects with my business, and the profits from that meant there was 1 month where actually I invoiced probably 1.5 times my annual salary from when I was employed. So it was, huge, absolutely huge. I mean, the work that we did together definitely had an impact on it, because when I priced for those projects, I priced it at, the day rate that we talked about aiming for, which was double the day rate, higher than I would have ever dreamed of trying to charge. Because actually I'm bringing all of these skills and experience, and I might not have it 100%, but nobody does. So I'm going to price at this level, and then I'm going to do the quality of work that that I know that I do for clients.
What was it like working through the coaching process? How did you find it?
It was really good. We covered some very specific topics, so I was grateful that there was a framework in place that meant that we did cover some of those that I probably wouldn't have necessarily brought to coaching naturally myself.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really liked about working with you was we did lean into the areas that we needed at the time. I've had a lot of coaches that focus on the business side, so accountability, goal setting, those kind of more practical elements. But actually what I really like about you was the more emotional side and the spiritual side. I think if you've got a mindset blockage over your money mindset, for instance, I think until you really delve into that and really go deeply into it, which is something that you're able to do very, very well, I think that changes the practical stuff without you having to focus on it. And it was a big investment for me to pay for the coaching program at that time, because like I said, I wasn't invoicing the money that I needed. And I did end up putting the coaching program on a credit card. I think fast forward and you look at the impact that the work that we did had on what I was invoicing, and it's paid for itself multiple times over. I think if the time's right for you, if you know that that there's things that you need to do and you need to work on and you need to change, and you're not sure how to go about doing those, and I think it definitely will have an impact. I think it would be hard to go through that coaching program and not have things change as a result of it. And actually the money now is like, it's minor compared to the difference it's had for my business. So I've worked with quite a lot of different coaches. So business coaches, the first thing they say, oh, have you got your strategy? Have you got your plan? Have you got your goals? Have you got your objectives? And what I've loved is some of the conversations where you've said, you know, actually, do you need those? Is that because businesses generally have been created and run by men and they needed the structure? You know, some of those conversations we've had, I've really gone away and reflected on and thought, you know, I really need to do this my own way. And you've really been helpful at helping me to do my own way, not telling me that I should be doing it a way that somebody else is doing it, because that doesn't work for me, actually.